Say I Love You, a miraculous ladybug fanfiction written and narrated by It's Gabby. Links to my Instagram is down below in the description. Without further ado, let's listen to this story. Adrian Agress, age 18. Although Adrian had said for years that Marinette was just a friend, he couldn't see her that way anymore. He saw this girl smiling at him, her eyes beaming with joy and excitement every time she saw him. But he wasn't quite sure if she liked him as a friend, or maybe possibly liked him more than that. Maybe he was just way in over his head and thinking she liked him. Or maybe he had it all wrong and she hated his guts but knew how to hide it. Oh, but the girl and her smile. It was like rays of sunshine, making his heart feel like it was running a marathon. Oh, Camembert. No, he couldn't. He loves Ladybug. Marinette is just a friend. Even if her cute smiles made him blush and her blue eyes reminded him of an ocean filled with mysteries, he was curious about her. He didn't know much except that she was clumsy and a designer and very talented, but as for the way her personality is, he didn't know. He wanted to know more about her. He wished he could get to know her, but no. I love Ladybug, even though she doesn't even bat an eye at me. He sighed. He felt torn between a girl who didn't like him and a girl he might just be able to woo. No, he couldn't think of Marinette that way. She probably already had someone she likes, just like Ladybug. Broken hearted, he thought of the times he would try to woo Ladybug, giving her flowers, but then she would just tell him that the flower either meant he was jealous, he thought of her as a lover, it meant friendship, pride, and fertility? Ugh, he never meant to offend Ladybug. He just wanted her to like what he did to try to woo her. Each time he tried, she would just rudely turn him down. He was surprised by the constant rejection. Oh, Hakmat never acclimatized him, for so many times he had felt torn and depressed over Ladybug. Weird. Adrian! Chloe, his childhood friend, pulled him from his thoughts. How long was he zoned out? He looked around to see, and it was lunch break. What? When did... Yes, Chloe. I just wanted to ask you what you think of my new sunglasses. They look great, Chloe. She squealed. He didn't hate the girl, for he knew he was softening her, as obnoxious and spoiled as she was. He felt she was the only one who knew what it was like to live with his father, and cared because she was the only friend he ever had as a child. And thanks to her, he would have never gone to her middle school and met his now best friend Nino. His buddy, the one person who never gave up on him. He smiled thinking of the time that Nino got acclimatized for his sake. His sake. It made his heart feel warm, thinking that Nino didn't know much about him, just that he cared enough and that made him happy. Dude, Nino walked up to him. Speak of the devil, Adrian mumbled. Hey, Nino. So, Elliot Baronet wanted to know if you wanted to go get ice cream with us at the park. Marinette? He got excited just thinking that Marinette will be going. This was his chance. He could finally talk to her without her stuttering and running away, but he wanted to know. Nino, does Marinette hate me? 'Cause she's always stuttering and then runs away and then she gets nervous. Do I intimidate her? Dude, Marinette doesn't hate you, nor do you scare her. You sure? Cause I'm pretty sure she's hiding behind Alia right now. And she always talks to all the guys in her class, well, and jokes and laughs with them. But then she's always seems to have her she always seems to have her guard up around me. Nino laughed. You'll get it one day, my dude. What? What did he mean? What in the world did Nino try to say? So are you going or not, my dude? I'll I'll have to ask Natalie. Yeah, sure, dude. He wanted to go. He wanted to speak with Marinette. He, he heard behind him Marinette scribbling on a piece of paper. He wanted to turn around and see what she was doing, but he had to listen to the science project Miss Bustier was explaining. He felt soft, slender fingers touch his shoulder, and turning around, and just from his face was Marinette passing him a note. He flinched because he never expected her to get close to him. After coming back to his senses, he took the note, smiled, saw her look everywhere but at him, and said a simple thank you. He was curious as to what she wrote, and without a second thought, he found himself reading the piece of paper. I hope you can make it. He found it cute how she doodled little flowers. It made his heart feel warm. This was it. He was going to talk Marinette and she had nowhere to run. That seemed evil, but he didn't mean it in a bad way. He just wanted to talk to her without her making excuses, turn away, or stuttering to have him guessing what she was trying to say. He wanted to have a normal conversation with her. By the end of classes, all the girls from their class, all except Chloe and Sabrina, were gathered around each other, which the scene in fact reminded Adrian of when football players would huddle up to make a game plan. He chuckled. Just what in the world were these girls laughing and squealing about? Then he heard, "Today's the day, girls. I'll finally tell him how I feel." His heart dropped, slowly turning to find the owner of the voice. He was sure it was Marinette's voice, but he wanted to have the benefit of the doubt. He saw Marinette being hugged by all the girls, wishing her luck. What? Marinette liked someone? Stupid, he thought. He knew she didn't like him. When they first met, she was hostile towards him. What made him think that she would like him? His heart was beating against his chest, and not in the type of way Ladybug made him feel, making his heart flutter. No, this was sadness. Did he really fall for clumsy Marinette without even noticing? He was late. He liked Marinette, but she already had someone she liked. No, it can't be like this. I can't just have her thinking of me as a friend. I want her to know. He felt desperate. He wanted Marinette to like him. But now that confidence he had in the morning about her liking him was all gone. He was curious about what guy had caught her eyes and heart. He was jealous. Adrian went home to change, but before, he wanted to see Marinette. So, you like that stupid chain girl? Oh, hush, Flag. Are you gonna tell her? Adrian blushed. Yeah, but I want to know who she likes first. Come on, Flag. Let's go see my princess. After jumping off some roofs and scaring some pigeons, he silently landed on Marinette's loft. He tapped the window, and there poked her head out. Cat Noir? Surprised to see him. Hey, princess. What? What are you doing here? I was in the neighborhood and happened to hear that there was a princess in her tower waiting for a prince. She laughed. Ugh, her laughter was music to his ears. Nice try, no, but I think you got the wrong house. No, I'm pretty sure I'm in the right one. He winked. So, are you gonna stay in the sun to get a tan, or do you want to come in? We got fresh vanilla cookies. Feeling a bit bribed by cookies, he went into her room. This was his first time in her room as Cat Noir. He remembers he had gone to her room to play video games, but he didn't like her then. But now he was nervous. He didn't know if to sit down, to stand, or just to wait for her to tell him what to do. What are you doing? I don't know. Sit down. Okay. He looked around her room, and there in a corner he saw pictures of himself. Of himself as Adrian. What's up with the model guy in the corner? What? I. You like him? Chat wiggled his eyebrows. Well, Nah, I'm joking, princess. You probably use him as an inspiration for your designs. He joked, wishing that weren't the case. Yes, she whispered. What? I like him. His heart was going to explode. He never thought the marionette would like him. Well, his civilian self. He was a bit jealous. What part of him made her like him? The only time he was truly himself was as Cat Noir. Why? He just seems like a spoiled rich boy. Don't say that about him. He's so much more than that. You don't even know him. I mean, sure, he's been oblivious of my crush on him for 3 years, but he's kind and smart and... She paused. And even though he's sad, he does his best to smile, even if he doesn't feel okay. And I want to hug him and tell him it's okay, but I'm scared. Tears rolled down her eyes, and Chat had to fight the urge to cry. Someone cared enough to notice. Chat never knew she had liked him for so long. Never knew she had been watching him. He wished he had fallen for her instead of Ladybug. She was crying because he could see that it hurt her to see him faking his smiles and forcing them. She saw right through him. He walked up to her, hugged her, and kissed her. Marinette's eyes widened as Cat Noir kissed her. What? Didn't he love Ladybug? Why did he? Chat, why did you? I'm sorry, he said. It's just that I got into the moment, and for a minute I imagined myself as the boy you liked. Chat! You took my first kiss. What? I didn't know that was her first kiss. Marinette was freaking out. She was pacing back and forth, mumbling that Agent wouldn't want her now that she had lost her first kiss to an alley cat. Chat chuckled. What? What's so funny? How would you feel if they took your first kiss, You just did. What? You were my first kiss too, princess. He saw her face go from light pink to beet red blush. I'm sorry. I gotta go. He left, leaving a flushed Marinette. He went home and he was also beet red, and he couldn't believe it. Marinette liked him. Marinette Dupencheng liked him. Thank you guys for listening to my first fan fiction. If you guys made it this far, thank you for being patient and listening in. I have to apologize for some of the words because I speak two languages, which is Spanish and English. So in some of them, you might hear a little bit of Spanish accent, maybe. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you made it this far, comment vanilla cookies. The cover art is by Hiyenji. Her Instagram is in the description below. Please like and subscribe to my channel. Bye!